Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, just getting cozy, and today I've got for you a video on my worn fragrances of the last about 10 days. So we'll call it a week's worth of fragrances, but actually we're going back about 10 days. I thought I'd talk you through the fragrances that I've been wearing because I am shopping my stash. What does that mean? Well, I did a video on it. Basically, I am going through my collection and wearing some of my lesser used, forgotten about, neglected fragrances. I'm also going for a little bit of a declutter. I'm having another declutter. Just sold a few fragrances, about how many? 10 maybe? Just sold some fragrances that weren't getting used because maybe I just didn't love them enough, or it just didn't excite me enough. So I've just got rid of some to kind of like clear the way a little bit. Not that I want to buy more, but just so that I can actually see better what I have. And that's what decluttering is all about, I think, is when you have too much, sometimes you struggle to make a choice or to find what you want. If you start to clear out a few things, you can suddenly find things that you forgot you had and that you really love. So that's what this is all about. And the other thing that I did was I put quite a few of my most worn perfumes away in the cupboard out of sight to stop me wearing them all the time, to try and force me to revisit some of my other perfumes. So here we go. Without further ado, we'll start with what I wore today. Oh, by the way, I'm also going to tell you how I spray because maybe particularly at the moment, working from home, not really going out very much, my routine's not quite how it was, and I'm sure that's the same for many of you. So I'd love to know, how do you spray your perfumes? How many do you spray a day? How do you treat your collection or your samples, your decants, your bottles? I'm going to talk you through what I do, which I'm kind of hoping I'm going to find out from you that it's normal. So what I do then is, when I get up in the morning, I don't shower straight away. I immediately spray on perfumes, and quite often I'm wearing 3 perfumes. I would perhaps wear one up here, a different one on one wrist and a different one on another wrist, or the other wrist, because I've only got 2. But if you've got more wrists, I mean, lucky you if you're a perfume lover. I think that would be amazing to have extra wrists. I digress. So when I get up, usually I'm straight away spraying perfume on myself, and usually it's 3 different perfumes. And today I wore 2. I actually layered 2, one on top of the other, which I very rarely do, and I only do usually with quite fresh, simple fragrances. So today I started off with Shivago 24K, which is a white floral, musky, clean, grown-up fragrance. So 24K, that went on all over here. And then I'm popping that back. And then I let that dry for 5 minutes, and then on top I went with Neroli Portofino from Tom Ford, which is a neroli, white floral, musky fragrance. So not that dissimilar to the Shivago, except this has got the bitter greenery that neroli brings. And they layered very, very nicely together, very fresh, very clean. And then I can't remember what I had on my wrists, but that doesn't matter. So I'm always sampling, I've got samples all over the house, and I'm always testing stuff on my arms. And but that was my main fragrance today until I showered. So I think I showered early afternoon, and after I showered, what am I wearing? Oh, I can smell it. Hang on, what am I wearing? I've forgotten what I'm wearing right now. How funny. I remember now, I was having a little tidy up upstairs, and I've got this decant of Guerlain Metallica. So it's a long discontinued very hard to find fragrance, and I've been hoarding this tiny little bit in this decant, and I thought, blow it, just wear it and you can throw the decant away. So that's what I'm wearing. It took me a while to remember, but I'm wearing Metallica. I've emptied out the decant, I've thrown that empty decant away, so it feels good to declutter. So that's the other thing, isn't it? Hoarding perfume, what's the point if it's sat in the bottle or the decant? It's doing you and no one else any good. Fact. Thought someone was breaking in then. So I know it's a thing that we all do. If we have a discontinued fragrance in our collection, we tend to hang on to it and not actually use it because we're afraid of it running out. But guess what? In the bottle, it serves you no purpose whatsoever. So that's something I'm going to try and remember. So that was my fragrance today. I've told you what I'm wearing now. And now I'm not going to remember days for all of these, but these fragrances have all been worn, whether they've been my main fragrance around here or whether they've been just worn on one arm. They've all been worn in the last week or so, just a bit longer than that, I think. So I've got here my Iris Ganache, which is iris, white chocolate, cinnamon, loads and loads of vanilla, very smooth. The vanilla is amazing in here. It's a really, really good vanilla. And I call this a vanilla perfume. It's an iris perfume as well, but I'd say if you said describe it, I'd call it a vanilla perfume. But obviously has iris. Anyhow, I love this. So Iris Ganache, comforting, cozy, sweet and lovely. There was a day when I fancied a fresh spring-like fragrance and I went for Marc Jacobs Daisy Oh So Fresh Twinkle. This is limited edition. Smells very similar to the original Oh So Fresh. Really not that much in it at all. Kind of like it's a florals, clean florals with musk and cedar and a little bit of violet, a little bit of citrus. Very light, refreshing and fun. Now there's rarely a few days go by when I'm not wearing a little bit of Miss Dior in some way or other. This is the Cherie and I wore that the other day. I think I was actually going somewhere. I really like this one as a kind of grab and go to smell pretty and easy yet elegant for just shops. Well, that's really all there is at the moment. You know what I mean? To run an errand or whatever. I really like this, and actually it lasts me quite well. So I'll get 6, 7, 8 hours out of wear a good overspray, but I get quite a decent. So it's white florals. There's a strawberry note in here. There's supposed to be a popcorn note. I didn't really get that. It's a tiny bit of rose, some white florals, musk, very musky. I don't think this one's got patchouli in it. If it does, it's very, very understated. But it's a very fresh, light, everyday kind of scent, but also elegant enough to be a date scent. Kind of an anything you want scent, really. I really like it. So we'll stay with Miss Dior. I did wear my newest one to my collection, to my Miss Dior collection, and that's the Le Parfum. Discontinued now. I really love the bottle and the colour. Oh, here comes the cat. Colour of the juice, the silver plaque on the front. This one I'm not sure how I feel about though. Hey sweetie. This one's fairly heavy on the patchouli. It's kind of ambery and sweet. And it's a bit, there's this sharp yet dry note in here. I don't know if there's aldehydes. It's kind of like sharp, fizzy, but dry and almost hairspray like. It kind of catches on my throat a little bit. So I don't really know. It smells very elegant, very grown up, but I just don't think it's quite for me. But I gave it a full wearing just to see what I thought. And one day I wore Tobacco Rose. It's been a little while since I wore that from Papillon Perfumery. a lovely savoury rose, not very sweet. Hay, beeswax, oak moss, ambergris, rose obviously, and a really long lasting and kind of a rich aura that this one gives you. So tobacco rose. This is a bottle, it's got my face on it. So this is from Fragranza, it's called Love Whisper, and it's their version of Rolling in Love from My Killian. I've actually worn this a couple of times now. I've worn it as my main fragrance. I've also worn it just testing it out as the extra fragrance on one of my wrists. Really like this. The opening's kind of, I don't love the opening. It's as it gets into the dry down that I really love it. And I felt the same about Rolling in Love as well. So you have some, I think there's some tuberose, there's ambrette, there's a little bit of, there's some sweetness. I can't really remember what's in here, but if you know Rolling in Love, it's going to be ballpark. And the dry down, when the musks really get musky, it's really nice. Not in a, it doesn't go dirty. It's always stays clean and pretty. So, I watched Erin Sullivan. Is it Erin O'Sullivan? Not sure. But I watched Erin, who is lovely. She has a YouTube channel, and she did her first impression. She blind bought Minuet Edemi by Fragrance Du Bois, the demi rolling fragrance. She blind bought it. She unboxed it in a live stream. I didn't watch the live stream because it's probably, I can't remember, I don't know what time it was on, but no doubt, past my bedtime. But I watched it back and I was inspired to wear Minuet Edemi. Now I've got a cat hair there. And I specifically remember wearing it on this wrist. It must have been yesterday, because I sprayed it maybe mid-afternoon, and I couldn't believe it when I could still smell it today, quite far into the day, but before my shower. So the longevity on this is literally crazy, really, really good. It's not a big beast projection wise, but the longevity is crazy. I do pick up ambroxan in here, which is very prevalent, which is very tenacious, and it does help fragrances really hang around. And I do really pick that up, not immediately. It gets to a point in the fragrance where I pick it up quite well, then it kind of settles into the background. So I think that's what helps. But there's caramel, there's coffee, there's cardamom. You can really pick up the cardamom, gives it that spice, and it's kind of vanilla-y, but it's not too sweet. So that's Minuet Edemi. A recent pickup for me is this one. It's called Want, and it's by Dsquared, an Italian designer company, and I'm really amazed at the quality of this fragrance. For £15, £15 is discontinued, but can be found quite easily at the moment. If you are in the market for an affordable, decent vanilla fragrance with a hint of floral, then I really recommend this one. The vanilla smells proper good. So there's a touch of rose, and I don't know what else. I've forgotten what's in here, but it's more about the vanilla than anything else. But there is some florals that blend in really smoothly. Nothing screechy. If you think about white florals in Coco Mademoiselle, I would call them screechy. They're kind of sharp and fresh. This is not that. This is a super mellow, very mellow, cozy fragrance, and it's a really, really good. I specifically remember wearing Sex and the Sea Neroli on a walk. I went out with Sam just for a little walk around, nothing major, and wore this because it was a lovely spring-like day. It was sunshine, and it was just one of those days. It was so nice. So I feel like Sex and the Sea Neroli is actually a really great spring fragrance. It's got Neroli, which is fresh and bright but green and bitter at the same time, and it's got this sweet bubblegummy florals. It's got tuberose, which can smell bubblegummy, and I do get not like an actual bubblegum, but just a hint of a bubblegummy sweetness about it. And it's musky, and it's probably got iris in it because Francesca Bianchi pretty much uses iris in everything, and that's something that she really does use with, how do we say it, with pizzazz. It's kind of like her magic ingredient. And Sex and the Sea Neroli has almost like, a little bit of a suede-like texture to it. Really, really like this one. I'm so glad I got it. I thoroughly enjoyed wearing it the other day, and I look forward to wearing it more often. And we are on to the last one. So this is Agonist, and it's called Theinfidels. And this is the one that reminds me of head shops, or we call them here in the UK like New Age shops. What do we call them New Age shops? Kind of like, like hippie shops where you can buy tarot cards and books on esoteric matters, but you can also buy incense and essential oils and crystals. So if you imagine a shop that's got all the different flavoured incenses, kind of smells like that. So there's citrus in here, but it doesn't smell like a natural citrus, not like an Atelier cologne citrus, because it's got a lot of powder with it. So it's almost like a powdery citrus, and then it's got resins, and it's got vanilla, and it's got spices, and it's got florals. It's literally got everything in it. But just imagine a whole heap of different flavoured unlit incense sticks, and that kind of gives you a rough idea. It is just like walking into one of those New Age shops. Also, maybe smells a tiny bit like a Lush shop. So you know what I mean? It's like everything, but very powdery, like bath bomb powdery. That's Agonist Theinfidels. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, I was going to get Sweetie to say hi, but she's just jumped off my lap, so sorry about that. Oh, hang on. My friend has got something to tell you.
Well, hello, my fellow fragrance fans. My name's Ange, aka 50 Cents UK here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching Claire's video today. It was awesome as usual. If you love anything perfume, if you really want to see some excellent content, some knowledgeable stuff about perfume, you're in the right place. Now, show our Smurfy girls some love. Hit that subscribe button. Give this video a big thumbs up. Now you know it makes sense. You know you want to. Come on, show some love. Share the love. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thank you so much, Ange. And I'll catch you all later. Bye.